Can you stump the clone? That's the game we're going to play today. Hi, I'm TJ Walker. This is the TJ Walker Success Channel. This is where we help you boost your communication skills and improve your confidence so that you can become more successful in all aspects of your personal and professional life. That's what we do here. We've got some great guests coming up for you. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be speaking to Darren Christopher, who's one of the top corporate and governmental NGO speechwriters in the world. He'll be sharing with us some secrets about the craft of writing speeches, script writing, speech writing, rather than speech delivery, which is what we talk about here primarily. But first, we're going to see if we can do a game of Stump the AI, Stump the Computer. I'm going to bring on a special guest today. You may be familiar with him by now. And this is the TJ Walker AI. It's my digital clone. And this is something I've been working on. It seems like for years now, but it's only been, I guess, a little more than a week that I've had my own clone, and still trying to get my head around all the different uses, all the potential ways it could benefit people and students, other people, myself. How can it actually benefit things? Every time I think about it, there's yet more and more and more uses. I think I'm going to start making this available to all of my online students as an adjunct to a course. So rather than writing me a question and taking 24 hours to get back, sometimes they'll have access to it right away. But I'm still testing with it. Now, the particular platform I'm using allows you to calibrate. Do you want answers that are simply 100% pulled from a word that you've spoken in a video before or written? Or do you want to give it leeway to incorporate broader things from internet conversation standard procedures when you're writing a memo, that sort of thing? So I've been asking it mostly questions about communication skills because that's what most of my content is about. But as you may know, I've got a lot of courses on personal development, and I've not tested that as much. So let's just ask it a question. If you have a question, type it in. And I'm especially interested if you can come up with a tough question, but it's got to be a relevant question. It has to be a question relevant to communication, spoken communication, and it has to be relevant to personal development. But let's test it because it's pulling from all kinds of things I've said in videos for the last 20 years. So I'm not even sure. It has a perfect memory. I don't. So let's just do a test right now. We're going to call the AI.
Hi, I'm TJ Walker AI. How may I help you?
Yes, TJ, can you tell us what is the best way to really achieve fulfillment in life? How does someone become happy and really feel like they've lived a fulfilled life?
Achieving fulfillment in life often comes down to engaging deeply with your passions and connecting with others. It's about setting meaningful goals and making progress towards them. Happiness isn't just about the big achievements, but also about the small, everyday moments where you feel connected to your work, your hobbies, and the people around you. One effective way to feel fulfilled is to focus on helping others and making a positive impact in your community. This not only enriches your life, but also creates a sense of belonging and purpose. Additionally, always strive to learn and grow. The pursuit of knowledge and skills can bring a deep sense of satisfaction and keep you mentally and emotionally stimulated. Now, think about what makes you feel most alive and fulfilled. Is it your family, your career, a hobby? How can you engage more deeply with these aspects of your life? And for a practical exercise, why not prepare a short presentation on what fulfillment means to you and share it with a friend or a mentor? I'd love to hear how it goes.
So that wasn't a bad answer. I didn't hear anything there. I thought, well, that's bad advice. I would never say something like that. It was about 90 seconds long. And I do have some leeway of adjusting length of answers. But I would be interested if you heard that. What did you think of it? Now, TJ, back to you. Your answer wasn't bad, but can you go into more detail, for example? It just seemed a little bit superficial. Can you give me a deep dive in just one of those spheres?
Thank you for your feedback. Let's dive deeper into one specific area: the impact of helping others on personal fulfillment. Engaging in community service or simply extending a helping hand can profoundly influence our sense of happiness and satisfaction. When you focus on assisting others, it shifts your perspective from internal concerns to the broader impact you can have on the world. This act of giving not only enriches the lives of those you help, but also instills a sense of connection and purpose in your own life. For instance, consider someone who volunteers at a local food bank. Each interaction not only helps alleviate someone else's immediate need, but also builds a community of support and gratitude. This can lead to a deeper sense of belonging and purpose, which are key components of feeling fulfilled. Now, how about you try this? Prepare a brief talk on how helping others has impacted your life or how you might increase your involvement in community service. Share this presentation with a friend or a community group. I'd be interested to hear how it resonates with your audience and what reflections it brings up for you. What do you think could be your next step in engaging more deeply with your community?
Okay, so I'm going to hang up right there. That wasn't a bad answer. Again, it's giving answers a little bit like 90 seconds, I guess, the length of time. So it wasn't just some quick soundbite, but it wasn't a full speech. I'm still trying to learn the mechanisms of if I want to go really long, or if someone wanted to hear a 30-minute personalized motivational message just for them every morning. How would I, in fact, structure that? My colleague Ben is with us, and Ben, just wanted to check in with you and make sure, did I even hit the buttons right? Did people hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Now, Ben, you have to hear my voice a lot, maybe too much, but how does the voice sound to you now? I think what I need to do is, we had a problem earlier in that it was making my voice too flat, a little too monotone. So I got rid of the training audios that we ingested into the AI system at Delphi. And I did another version where I completely overdid it. I was really acting hammy because I didn't want to fall into that trap of sounding flat and monotone. And when I hear this, it sounds pretty good. I would say 80 to 95%. But there are some things that sound artificially forced and constrained a little too much, over the top. So I'm thinking I may want to do another audio that is down a little bit, closer to my natural level, feed it in and see if we can calibrate it. So that's something I want to experiment, because we're continuing to try to tweak this voice. But I'm interested, where do you rate this voice now compared to the real TJ?
Yes, actually, I think it's a lot better than what we have previously. And this
It's
one, in
definitely
my
made
own
improvement from the
opinion,
first two versions.
yeah. So definitely, with my opinion, I feel the voice now is closer, and then I'll rate it 80 to 85%.
I didn't hear the last thing you said, Ben.
Yeah, I said 80 to 85%. That's what I will rate it.
You say it was bad this time? Well, let's table
80%.
that conversation. We're very happy to bring Darren Christopher in. Darren, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Our audience was looking forward to the conversation we're going to have. We're in sort of the pre-interview now. We'll set up, make sure we've got the audio connected. We're going to have kind of a clean start in just a few minutes. It will be another link. So,
okay, great.
Ben, were you able to send that to Darren?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so you've got the next link. I'm going to take you off a minute, Ben,
Okay.
and I'm going to hit record on this part. So, Darren, what I always like to do in sort of the pre-interview with people is figure out in advance, what can we do to make this as beneficial as possible to the audience, but also you, our guest, because your time is very valuable. What's the one thing you would like to promote, for example? Is it driving people to your website, your LinkedIn? Do you have any upcoming books or anything? What's the one thing that when we get going, we want to be able to bridge back to help you the most?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's primarily driving people to my business website, which is darrenchristopher.com. I'm a speechwriter, an executive communications consultant. And for the audience, I think my key message is it's okay to get help. People are busy. The most talented and smartest people in the world get help with their presentations, as you've been doing for so long. So that's my main message for them today.
Okay, great. And I know you've done a lot of interviews and you've been involved with major UN organizations and presidential administrations. You've been around the media a lot. Are there any particular questions where you feel like, wow, why don't they ever ask me that? It'd be so much fun for people if we explore that area. Any guidance you can give me on how we can make this even more valuable to you?
Yeah, I think primarily, how speech writing works, how to have a effective collaboration with someone. It's an unnatural relationship in some ways for folks, having someone where it seems like they're putting words in your mouth. So I think about how to work effectively between a speechwriter and a principal.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely fascinated with that because I haven't written a speech for anyone in a long time.
Is that right?
There were times when I have. Well, we'll talk about that once we get going because it's a tough job. It is. It's not just sitting there with a quill in your mouth with your feet on the table waiting for inspiration and it's done. Great. All right. Well, we're very much looking forward to that. We're going to sign off now and hop over to the link we created just for this. So we'll be starting fresh just with you. That video, once we're finished, it'll be live. And once it's finished, that will be a video on demand on YouTube and all these platforms.
All right. Terrific.
And then if you want to, once we connect, you can actually hit a button. This could stream on any of your social media channels as well. So we'll talk about that for a minute when we start. Ben will walk you through that. Then otherwise, for our folks joining us now, we're gonna come back live on the same platform. So if you're watching this on YouTube, or LinkedIn, or Twitch, or Instagram, or Facebook, we're going to pop up again in the same place. If you want to talk to Darren, ask him a question, even appear on screen, ask him how you can become a speechwriter. All you have to do is push the button for the StreamYard connection, and you can do that. Okay, now Ben, you've given me the StreamYard link, but Darren already has that, so we're in good shape.
Yeah, I'll hop over there.
All right, so Darren, we'll meet in just 60 seconds in the new link. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone. Please rejoin us in just a moment. Same place.